guys. So I thought I'd come on and do a quick reading, kind of updates and things. So first we can talk about Brian Laundrie. And of course everybody is asking, where's the gun? So first off, you know, I could have done other videos on Brian Laundrie and kept the flame going, so to speak, but I'm not here for clickbaity. I don't care about the amount of subscribers I have. I appreciate the ones that I do have. So there are times I had things to say about the Brian Laundrie case, but you know, I just didn't do a video on it. And I kind of you know, I've seen a lot of videos on it that keep going on about it. And I have seen some videos about the theory of, you know, the mass, that he's a serial killer or something. You know, I could be wrong. Who knows? But I don't see that at all. And I kind of don't see... I just don't see what good it is to put that out there when you are not sure. Okay? Yes, it could just be a theory. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's coincidences about the two women that died near where Gabby was killed, but there's also the man that died where Gabby was killed, who supposedly killed himself, you know. And then there's many other people that they're found, you know, that were missing, that are found deceased. So I don't want to go on that big a rabbit hole. With that being said, I am going to give some opinions, which may be contradictory to what I just said. I don't know. But anyway, so everybody's saying, let's move on from that. Everybody's saying, you know, where's the gun? And I'm saying, where's the rest of the body? Forget the gun. Where's the rest of the body? Where's the rest of the bones? And when I did my cause of death for Brian Laundrie, remember the hermit came up with him hanging there with a snake wrapped around him. And then, you know, I was surprised, as everybody was, that it was a gunshot wound to the head. Now, my only question about that is, why would it take an anthropologist to determine that it was a gunshot to the head? That's my only question in all this. And also, I didn't see anywhere where it said time of death. I didn't, you know, I could be wrong. So if you know, leave it in the comments, you know, because I hadn't been watching it, you know, I haven't been watching all of it because to me, the case is just done. So, but I'm just curious, when was the time of death? Because in my one video, I thought that it was, that he, on my calculations, could have been deceased 16 days. You can go back and look for that video, on my updated video on Brian Laundrie. So I wanted to know the time frame of death, and then again, why would it take an anthropologist to say it was the cause of death was a gunshot wound? Why couldn't a regular, whatever they're called, pathologist, or the guy that determines cause of death, why couldn't he figure that out? I mean, number one, obviously, half your skull is gone. A clue could be you got shot in the head or shot yourself in the head. So it doesn't take science, you know, it doesn't take brain surgery to figure that out. So that was my only curiosity. And the reason I want to know the time of the death is because, so let's say he did kill himself with the gun. Okay, where is the gun? Yeah, okay. But where is the rest of the body, which could have been eaten by alligators? I don't know if they eat bones, or they said the mad wild pigs in the area. But why didn't they eat the skull too? So that's a question. So we just have a lot of unanswered questions that may never be answered regarding his death. Now, I did catch wind of the parents going back to the scene to walk the trail where they found the dry bag, and the police found the body in the backpack. And I guess the lawyer said that, you know, they were going there to honor their son and everything, which you know, I would do too if that was the place where my child had passed. You know, I would want to go to that park or trail or whatever, and maybe have a picnic and sit there and commune with them in nature and pray to them and, you know, feel closer to them. I'm not quite sure, you know, I don't want to judge them because everybody handles grief differently. And I will say something about them in a minute, but this is where I am going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole just a little bit. What if they went there to look for the gun? Okay? Because there's could be charges against them, possibly I forget what the charge would be, but contributing to him having a weapon, or, you know, I don't know, but if it was in his name, it's his weapon, so I guess that wouldn't matter. But I guess there could be some kind of charges with the weapon. So maybe they went to look for the gun. Okay, and the only reason I say that versus going to honor your child who had passed and just wanting to feel closer to them is, man, Mrs. Laundrie, boy, that woman, and I say this out of, like, kind of admiring, that woman is a woman of, I was going to say a man of strength. I don't know if she was in the military or what. I know they have a juice business or juice machine fixing business or something, but that woman has not broke once. Now, the father I see is a little weaker. You know, he might have had some meltdowns, but that woman has not meltdowned once. You know, and of course, we all think they've acted a little bit not normal, but man, that woman is a man of steel with those emotions. But you know, but then I thought about it too, and okay, I've gone through trauma, family trauma of my own, and I've had my father die in a traumatic way. Okay, and right after the trauma of the family, okay, and then it led up to, then my father died in a traumatic way. I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to see the body. He's gone. Okay, so that's a whole nother story. But in that whole period, it was very stressful. It was very traumatic. It was, you know, when the high point of him being dead, me not being able to say goodbye, me not being able to bury the body, me not being able to see the body to say goodbye, when that point hit, I was like delusional for like 3 days. I didn't sleep for like 3 days. I was having auditory hallucinations, which I Googled it. I guess you can have that when you're going through extreme stress. So I thought about that situation with me, and I never really grieved my father. I'm sure, like a lot of people, never really grieved the people they lost from COVID in the hospital, where they didn't get to go to the hospital and be with them and say goodbye, and, you know, have all the family at funerals, you know, maybe 1-2 people at a funeral, you know, way in the beginning. I don't know how it is now, but with COVID. So I'm just saying, like, okay, the Laundries have been, and I'm not trying to be yay Laundries or team Laundries at all. I'm just trying to be realistic and non-judgmental. Okay, that's the word. And to see the side of it. So the whole side of them, the whole thing from the beginning, where the parents of Gabby tried to get a hold of them, you know, where they weren't responding, blah, 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 and the lawyer said don't talk, which I think was a brilliant idea, okay, you know, legal speaking. Plead the fifth, you know, because then all speculation and, you know, the truth. Okay, I just think that was a good legal move, okay? Legal speaking, not morally or, you know, best for the world to know, or best for Gabby's family to know, but legally speaking, okay. But so from that point until the body was found, or the skull was found, that was a period of such traumatic stress for these people. Now, I saw it on the father's face, and some body language a little bit, but I never saw it on the mother. That's why I say she's a woman of steel. So I think, as with me, when I did find out that my father had passed and was already buried in the ground, so didn't get to go to a funeral, didn't get to see a body, didn't get to say goodbye, didn't get to be there in the last breath. I did have my meltdown, but I had to move on. I mean, there was nothing I could do. Yeah, I did think about going in the middle of the night and digging his body up. I did think about that for a moment. But, yeah, it's like you can't grieve, and you just have to move on. Because, yeah, your world has fallen apart, but you've been in such a state of stress for so long that you almost become numb, okay? So when we think that they've acted so strange, and I say that she's a woman of steel and hasn't had a meltdown, hasn't had a breakdown, hasn't come, crying to the media, my son's gone, we're worried about him, now he's deceased, we're so upset, we're so sorry, forget what we say. They've never done any of that people would want them to do. If you've never been through a traumatic event with such stress on you, just try to imagine for a second that it was your child. It is, almost in denial. They were in this bubble of isolation, of stress, that reality probably has not really set in yet. Okay? So, that's what I have to say about their odd behavior. Again, because of that, it leads me to think that maybe they were looking for the gun and maybe not, honoring the son. Maybe they did both. Could be, it hasn't sunk in yet. When you're on a high stress for so long, it takes a minute to come down. Now, another thing I wanted to say about him being, how I said he was only deceased for like 16 days possibly, is because the reason I kind of said that too, and I don't think I mentioned it in that video, was remember the guy saw near the Appalachian Trail, the guy was driving and he saw a guy in a white truck that stopped him and said, I need to get to California. Me and my girlfriend broke up, and now she wants me back, and we love each other, and now I have to get to California, and he wanted directions. Well, okay, so there was that guy, and then do you remember the video where the guy was riding the bike on sand and like, what the fuck, I don't know if he even got off the bike and was dragging the bike, and I can't remember with my lupus brain, I can't remember if he kind of ditched the bike and went on, but they thought that was Brian Laundrie. So both incidences they thought were Brian Laundrie. So it could have been, because I was wondering, like, okay, unless you live under a rock, you've seen the Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito case. So if those two people, those two sightings were not Brian Laundrie, which means he would have been alive then, versus him killing himself right when he went to the trail where his parents found him, where they said he went to. So if those two men were not Brian Laundrie, why didn't they come forward? Say, oh no, that was me, me and my girlfriend got back together, hey, send us presents for the wedding, wish us good luck, team us. Why didn't they come forward and be like, hey people, and I think there was one guy that was like, I think he even got a shirt, I am not Brian Laundrie, because people kept thinking it was him. Like, why didn't those other two people come forward and be like, that was me on the bike, I lost my license, I had to ride a bike down that damn sandy road, and ridden a bike on a sandy road. It ain't easy. I lived in Jersey, and it ain't easy. So you don't. That's why you get a moped. So that's why I said that's why I kind of brought to the conclusion that I think he came back to Florida, and I don't think his parents expected him to be deceased. Okay, but you can watch that video. So that's my take on the Brian Laundrie thing. Like, where is the gun? Yeah. Where's the rest of the bones? But mainly, why would it take an anthropologist to determine it was a gunshot wound? Oh, and also, I want, they said the cause of death was a bullet wound, self-inflicted bullet wound. Now, did it say on the report, like, I don't know, did they release the report? Did it say that? Cause of death, self-inflicted bullet wound to the head? Or did it say cause of death possible bullet wound to the skull, to the head, self-inflicted? Is there a word possible in there? Just because, like, why did it take him to figure that out? Like, couldn't the other people figure that out? Like, duh. Okay, so that's Brian Laundrie. Now, let's move on to Jelani Day. And please, in the comments, I will try not to say anything wrong, because my last video, or I think my only video on Jelani Day, I kept saying Peoria, and it's Peru, I know, but my lupus brain, like, I can mean blue and I'll say orange. Like, I don't know why, but that's just what happens. And I got yelled at for saying Peoria, and I know his car was found in Peru. Okay, so they were, they want the FBI for Jelani Day, his mother, and I don't know who the other man is, an important figure, political figure, wants the FBI to investigate because of the fact that his wallet was found one place, his phone was found in another place, his car was abandoned, the license plates were removed, I believe. Now, okay, let me know if they weren't, but don't yell at me. The license plates from the car were removed, and his clothes were found a different place. Now, originally I thought the clothes were in the car, but whatever. The clothes, I think, were found in a different place. So, with regards to Jelani Day, again, in my previous video, I'm not quite sure who did it, okay? I'm not quite sure who did it. However, I do still believe that it's someone who is close to the family in their inner or outer social circle. May even be someone who has been in the background at some of these press conferences, because they've had a lot of people around them. I believe it's someone they know. That's just my gut instinct. Now, originally when I knew that they found the wallet, the phone, blah blah blah, originally I was thinking to myself, and I didn't mention it in the video, but I was thinking, oh, he was throwing, he knew he was in trouble, and he was throwing things out the car. Kind of like, breadcrumbs, like to show, like, the route that he went. And I was thinking, but wait, why would, let's say, a kidnapper or abductor or someone mean let him have the window open enough to throw his phone out and throw his wallet out? So I kind of didn't go down that road, because I was thinking, I actually was almost abducted, whatever, I can't speak today, just woke up. When I think I was 16 or 17, I was in high school. And, quiet. So anyway, my parents were very rich, and these two gentlemen, they were older, I think in their 20s. They tried to abduct me, I believe, for money, ransom, possibly some other evil things. And luckily, my intuition and my gut instincts alerted me to it. I was aware of my surroundings. However, my intuition made me aware of what was going on. And I hid. So I hid. There was just a moment where they lost sight of me, and I hid. Okay, it was one of the, there was another time in my life, but this was the most scariest time in my life ever. So in a split second when they lost sight of me, I was able to hide. And so after that incident happened, and now mind you, both my parents are deceased, I ain't worth a dime. So no one come try to kidnap me now, because I got like a penny to my name. You know what I mean? I'm like so poor. You couldn't even return me to the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General. I mean, I'm so poor, you know, I don't even have to file taxes. You know, I'm so poor, I need to start a, you know, what you call it, a GoFundMe page to get me up to below poverty level. So don't even come try to kidnap me now, because you couldn't get nothing from me. But anyway, after that incident happened, I always said, you know, like, quiet, are you gonna get it? That I would leave like breadcrumbs. Like I would throw like my brush, or, you know, back then, you know, girls would have their brush or their you know, throw a brush, or throw a pack of gum, or, you know, throw your lipstick, or, you know, anything to just keep leaving breadcrumbs to show you where you went. So that's why I was thinking Jelani did that. But last night I was thinking, and I was gonna get up. I woke up in the middle of the night, like midnight to 3 in the morning. I was up, and I kept thinking about him, and I was thinking about him, and I wanted to do this video, and I was thinking, you know what? Because I think it's someone who was close to him. I'm thinking it was someone who was young. I'm thinking it was someone, you know, like like in the 20s to late 20s, you know, 18 to 29 or something in that, you know, like a young adult, but not a 50-year-old or anything like that. I think they were driving his car, and they threw the stuff out, like kind of jokingly, like, you don't need your wallet, throw it out. You don't need your fucking phone, throw it out, you know, and you don't need your clothes, take your fucking clothes off, you know. Like, again, in my video on about him, I was thinking it was kind of some kind of gang related, you know, get back at him, teach him a lesson. And I'm almost wondering if made him take his clothes off, you know, at the lake place. And now they say they think he drowned himself, you know, committed suicide by drowning, which he was a swimmer. They said he wouldn't do that. I think they drowned him, but I think they were dunking him. And this is another thing. Oh God, I'll never forget this. But, you know, I was young, like 7, 8, and one of our neighbors had a pool, and we'd all go swimming there and everything. And the big thing back then was the boys would dunk the girls. And oh my God, I swear I almost died because this kid was dunking me. Like, and I was just telling myself, don't panic, you know. And he just kept dunking me, and it was like the worst, like, drowning feeling of your life, being dunked and dunked and dunked. And I had to, like, mentally, like, okay, just as soon as I come up, take a little breath and just calm myself down. And then when he finally stopped, I didn't react, you know, because I was afraid he would keep dunking me, like the dunking game. And so I was like, oh, acting all casual, you know, and I get out of the pool, like, real slow, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go home, you know, and I'm gonna eat lunch. And boy, I didn't go back to that pool for that summer. And I told my mom, and she told her mom. And I mean, I really could not breathe. I couldn't fucking breathe. So luckily I was not afraid to go swimming after that, because I mean, it was really scary. So I think that's what I think maybe possibly that's what happened. They were dunking him to teach him a lesson, and it got out of hand, and he actually went unconscious. They might have even thought that they killed him, and then just put him in the water, you know, possibly. So then they had these a naked body and the clothes, so they couldn't leave the clothes there. Well, maybe they could have, but maybe they moved the clothes to somewhere else, so they didn't relate the clothes to him. And the reason I think it was someone young and someone he knew, because, okay, you're going to ditch a car. You do not need to take off the license plates, okay, to conceal the identity of whose car it is. So that's an amateur move right there. That's someone that doesn't know what they're doing. That's an amateur move. All you got to do is look in the windshield. There should be the VIN number up there. There should be a sticker, or even in the car. Somewhere there's a VIN number. Sometimes it's on a sticker, because I don't know why, but I was trying to see if I could hide my VIN number one time. I don't remember for what, but anyway, that's another story. And I'm like, oh damn, it's on the windshield. So you don't need to take the plates off the car. The VIN number's on the car. The cops could just open the door and look on the door for the VIN. So that's an amateur move. That's why I'm thinking it's someone young and someone they knew. And maybe it was a terrible prank, or we're going to teach you a lesson that went wrong. And the sad thing is, when it all comes out, because I think it will, whether it's a year from now, hopefully it's not going to take that long, that poor mom is going to grieve again, because it's going to be someone, I think, that she knows. Okay? Let's see. This video's been 25 minutes. You know what? I think I'm going to stop it here. I am going to go ahead. I had the cards out because I'm going to go ahead and do the Ethan Crumley high school shooting. And there was another missing girl that I wanted to do. So let me just do those in another video. And I was actually kind of worried about doing this when I was cleansing. I got the new mini Mario or whatever, I don't know what whatever, Cherry Majetti or whatever deck. So I kind of didn't want to use it with this one that goes to dark places. So now my incense are done. So anyway, you don't need to know all that. So I'm going to end this video here, and then I will do the other two separately. So take care, leave comments below, and if I said anything wrong, sorry. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of videos on a lot of these cases because I want my information to come from my subconscious intuitive mind, not my conscious, what I've seen, heard, looked at mind, because I want it to be an intuitive hit, which is why if I do make a mistake on a fact, it's coming from my intuition, my gut, and my subconscious. So hopefully that'll explain if I do in the future or in the past have made some mistakes. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.